everybody. I am the Doll Business and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna look at the best and the worst dolls of 2024. We'll do the top 5 best and the top 5 worst. We could do best, worst, best, worst. So top 10 overall. If you've watched my videos before, you know I like to look at the packaging design. I'll consider that, even though at this point most of the items are opened, and if I purchase them, they're already in my collection. I may have purchased 2 for some, but that's not always the case for budget and spatial reasons. Let's see, the articulation, the quality, the dolls themselves, how's the facial screening, is there pixelation, is it well done, what's the clothing like, and the accessories. So those are usually what I consider. There's also the level of excitement with, you know, when I found out about the doll, searching for it, finding it, what level of joy or what sort of emotions did I feel when I had the doll, or really just was eager to see the doll and interact and collect. So those are the different things we'll be looking at. I am not a professional YouTuber. I am just using very basic equipment and an iPhone, having to check the frame, not using my front-facing camera. If you have tips on a streamlined setup, please leave it in the comments for me. Would help me make more videos more quickly, because the setup sometimes takes you know, a level of consideration. All right, so let's get started looking at the year-end review. It is now 2025, and I am anxious for what this means with dolls. I feel like with the tariffs that are speculated as coming, the dolls could be more expensive and the quality could decline. And for something like Barbie, fashionistas, like, where do you go if you're at rock bottom? So you can probably guess, you know, the fashionista line might be on my worst list. But let's get started with the actual list. I wrote it on my phone, but because I'm using that to film, I'm gonna read it off of this iPad. Let me make sure this is recording. Okay, perfect. Should, yeah, like if I had a real camera, I'm sure I would see the recording button, but again, using the iPhone for simplicity and cost-cutting measures. So, 2024 dolls, the favorite list. We have, oh, I should probably stand in a certain spot so that the doll can appear on camera. Maybe I'll do the front-facing camera for this portion, because this is gonna be hard. All right, the front-facing camera, I think there's like a little less quality, but I can see where I'm standing, and I can put the information about the doll next to me. So this could work out a little easier, rather than where I'm like half off frame talking about the toy, which wouldn't work. So let's get started. This is my video preparation, like live. So 2024 best. Number 5 is Fearbook Twyla. Really like this character, like how she's introduced in G3. I found this to be a very eye-catching design. Strong color story of purple and teal, Twyla's signature colors, pretty cute shoes, kind of a timeless baby doll dress, sort of looks vintage while still gothic. This felt like a really cool rendition of the character. And let's not forget the also very cool glow-in-the-dark eye feature, which I absolutely loved. I was surprised by. Just a lot of play and imagination went into the creation and the production of this toy. So
happy to see Twyla earn a spot on the list, and it's very well deserved. This is probably the best Twyla we've seen in G3. I love the creep over Twyla as well, and she technically has the best face and doesn't have sort of 80s makeup like this version, but this version's hairstyle
I also made
really
a totally
also helped her
Twyla
pull
video,
out.
which you can check out, that shows some compare and contrast from the different dolls.
So in the US, she was a Target exclusive. Monster High 10.5-inch Fearbook Twyla fashion doll with varsity jacket, yearbook, and music accessories. Really love the fashion she came with. The color story was immaculate, very harmonious looking, representative of the character as well. Again, pretty much loved everything. Thought this was the best Twyla we've seen. The hairstyle was also extremely cute. I liked the creep over Twyla as well, sort of the signature Twyla, but didn't love that hair as much with the bangs, and it tended to be a little more messy. So we'll do Fearbook Twyla at number 5. And if you have any of these dolls, please, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? My list will probably be different than a few others that I've seen on YouTube, just in terms of what I collect, as well as personal preferences. Number 5 in terms of the worst. If you're not familiar with the W Club or Poppy Parker, they're a toy line from Integrity Toys, which is a very high quality fashion doll. The Poppy Parker is my favorite doll overall. So in this list, we are just looking at dolls that were released in 2024, not dolls that I purchased in 2024. That would be, okay, this sun is not gonna work with us. That would be a very different list. I'm trying to film and it's like cloudy and extremely sunny and freezing. It's like least favorite combo. We're also not going to look at customs, because if we were, I would definitely have some custom Poppy Parkers on that list, but I don't. So beautiful, right? So if you're not familiar with Poppy Parker, she does appear on the list, both good and bad. Poppy Parker is a fashion doll, New York teenage model in the 60s from Integrity Toys. Very high quality, more on the expensive side. She does have a good amount of articulation. There's skin tone range, lots of very high quality fashions and accessories. Probably the most upscale doll that I collect. I don't collect anything above 12 inches like Smart Doll or the Disney 17-inch. Those are just cost prohibitive and too large for my collection. I kind of like where everyone's roughly the same size, like they look like they could possibly come from the same universe, and more so share some of the same clothes and accessories. That's a big pull for me. So just want to throw that out there. So this leads us to our top 5 worst, which is the 2024 Poppy Parker W Club exclusives. I purchased one of the 4, purchased Angel Eyes Poppy Parker, which is a reference to Charlie's Angels. That show had such beautiful fashion, and it's not it. This looks dated, but like, obviously it's supposed to be a 70s reference. It looks dated like a shop you would see at the mall, dated. They don't like the one shoulder. The accessories, these are things that we've also seen from other Integrity Toys dolls. They're not necessarily unique. I don't need a doll that comes with a gun. I kind of like the hair, but then I also think it's like extremely wide. The big reason that the 2024 Poppy Parkers are here, I don't like any of the facial screenings, whether it be the eyebrows or the eyes that are like slightly smaller and very heavily made up. Poppy Parker, they usually do all sorts. Like there's a certain like classic eyebrow or a Bergdorf Goodman eyebrow, different eye screenings, the lips are relatively the same, just different colors, but I don't like any of the makeup here or the doll's looks or the fashions. Sometimes I'll purchase one because the fashions are immaculate, and buying on the secondary market is sometimes as expensive. Plus you can always, good part with Poppy Parker and Integrity Toys is you can always sell the dolls, which is good because they have a high resale value. Biggest miss from here was the return to Misty Hollows. The original Misty Hollows was timeless. This just the other part I should say, the silhouettes of all of these dolls are terrible. The clothing looks way too bulky.
Almost every detail here has too much going on, and it doesn't look like any of the pieces really fit with one another. They look like they're from a different person's wardrobe, and kind of reminds me of that show Zendaya was on the Disney Channel, where it's just like each person's wearing 25 different layers, textures, different styles, and it all kind of clashes. Individually, I like a lot of these pieces, like the blouse or the purple overall shorts, but together this silhouette's really unflattering, and nothing looks considered.
It's not flattering. The strappy sandals, the bad mix match of fashion, it just clashes. It doesn't look like these sandals would even go with this outfit. It's not it. The Star Muse is probably my favorite out of the bunch. Very pretty face, tacky outfit, socks with open toe sandal, high heels. I don't know. It looks like maybe 70s, but also again like something from Deb at the mall. Pink of Perfection, Poppy Parker, pretty doll, but I feel like the bottom half of her face is totally washed out. You just look at the dark eyebrows, dark eyes, and then everything else is like the same color. There's no contrast on this doll. I feel like the earrings are also too large, and the jewelry is doesn't look like it's actually for a doll. It looks like you purchased something at Target and you're like, this will work for my doll. And Angel Eyes we already covered, so these could have been great if you look up Poppy Parkers. They're usually, you know, I want to say phenomenal, really well done. There are other Poppy Parkers on the best list, so that'll give you a better idea if you're not familiar, but these just are a no. And they could have been the opportunity for something really beautiful was here and it was wasted, so that's why they are on the list for me. Next we have, okay, we're gonna stick with Poppy Parker. We have the Elusive Beauty Poppy Parker as the best, number 4 best. Unfortunately, this was a convention souvenir, and the Integrity Club convention, the W Club is already a paying membership, and then you just have to like monitor your email pretty extremely, and then see your opportunities. Some dolls are lottery, some dolls are vendor, some dolls are purchase direct. It's a mixed bag. You have to read all the details. The Elusive Beauty was a convention exclusive. I did go to one of the Integrity Toys conventions. I had a good time. I liked the people I met, made some friends, but unless you live in that city, it's pretty expensive. You stay over, the dolls are expensive, your ticket's expensive. It just ends up being like a vacation that if you want one of the dolls. So I did see this doll on eBay for, prices I didn't want to pay. Absolutely love the face, and the whole like spy outfit. Looks very 60s, which is Poppy Parker's usual inspiration. Really love everything about the doll besides exclusivity, but I'm not really counting distributions or exclusivity or distribution models in this review. We're looking at the dolls themselves. I don't know what the packaging looked like, but usually Integrity Toys is really well packaged. You don't generally see the doll through the box, though some of the retro ones do, but they usually do such a really great job on the printing. There's like decals and shiny and UV gloss and all sorts of things on the box. So I'm sure that was delightful. I think this doll probably is still on eBay, but let's see. Elusive Beauty Poppy Parker. $1,200. Okay, wow. That's more than I wanted to pay. I did see her initially where she was like $300, but I guess there's only like, I only see one now. That's just way too much money. She's also a blush skin tone, and that's not one I have in my collection. You can mix and match hands, so I held off from purchasing her because now I'm more into the custom Poppy Parkers, and I do have a good amount of Poppy already that I want to like repaint some of the faces and really just do some custom work. So I'm trying to hold off on Poppies unless I absolutely love one, and I didn't really have the chance to purchase this one, but she is on the best list. And now we're going to switch to Monster High Neon Frights.
And I did purchase a handful of these. Okay, and you're like, you purchased some?
But they're on the worst list. Isn't that irritating? Aren't you supporting something you don't like? Yes, and you know, that kind of sucks, but I did purchase them when they were at Target clearance. Saw like a Reddit notice on the Monster High doll forum, and they were like 10 bucks. So I did purchase them. I didn't purchase them for the different pieces. Talking a lot, need a beverage. All right. So I find it irritating when I watch videos and people complain about something they're still purchasing, which means the companies are still going to produce it. But purchase these at very reduced clearance for parts. Some of the fashion could cut the hair, make custom wigs, or different things like that. I didn't like any of the base dolls. The makeup was repulsive. The color, the worst part was the colors. The colors clashed so badly. They were like hard to look at. It was just a miss all around. Some of the clothing was okay. The locker also feels like wasteful to me. I donated 2 of them, and the other one I think I'm going to just put things in and maybe sell a lot on eBay. It's just too much plastic and too much space. I like having one locker, but if you're somebody who gets every doll, like where do you put all this stuff and what do you do with it? And the Neon Frights, again, I just really didn't like any of the colors.
I slowed this down so you could see how I'm about to be physically ill.
Like super tacky looking, the opposite of timeless or classic, or you know, a vintage inspired look, which usually is, all those things are like my preference. These were, I struggle to say anything positive about these. So if you liked these and these were your favorite, I'd like to hear why. Please tell me in the comments. Don't take it like a personal attack. These dolls just weren't for me. There was little here that I really liked. But when it's $10 and you think, great, I could get this for parts, I will. Okay, so again, we're gonna stick with the third best is Poppy Parker. A different Poppy Parker though. It is from 2024. It's from the At Home collection, which was, this is the only one I liked from the At Home collection. The At Home was also kind of a miss overall with the fashion and most of the facial screenings. Again, I don't like the heavily made up eyes, but really loved Snoozeroo. Have the doll here, love the hairstyle. This is the Bergdorf Goodman screening. Love the sort of more simple makeup. She also came with a pretty cool matching pajama set that I liked. I have it here. So great color story, beautiful packaging. You could see through the box. It was a like vintage throwback to an earlier style box that Integrity did. So love that reference as well. Really loved everything about the doll. The at-home collection overall though, no. But I saw this one, I entered the lottery and I won. So that was good. For worst, I just put Disney, which there's been so many cheap Disney dolls this year with no articulation, nylon or cheap hair, bad facial screening, pixelation. And if it's not, like, I feel like Disney is either cheap landfill or exclusive and prohibitively priced and also large, like probably over 12 inches, maybe a D23. So it's like, and some of the more quality dolls won't even be in their original outfits from the movies or the cartoons. It's like a lot of creative liberties that aren't usually good, usually very over the top, kind of looking like they're contestants on like Drag Race possibly, which has a market, but I also would prefer the classic looking outfits made in high quality instead of like literally cheap printed on or molded plastic landfill. Disney, I don't really get the strategy here. I didn't see a lot that I liked. Saw a lot of Ariel stuff, but again, it's either prohibitively priced and not a fashion from the movie, or if it is, it's very embellished and so many creative liberties taken that it just doesn't hit the mark for me. I feel like they're afraid to be plain, and I know some of them are for kids, and the collectors, maybe they think collectors don't want that sort of plain, looks like it is from the movie, but I would prefer the representation of the original character than, you know, something with all these frills and asymmetrical cuts and embellishments and jewels and no. If you feel differently though, please tell me in the comments. If you have these dolls, if you thought Disney did some of the best stuff this year, you know, let me know. Our second best, wow, we're already moving through this pretty quickly. Yeah, our second best. I purchased 3 of this doll, which feels like way too much, but opened one, and I have 2 in box. I was gonna give one to my niece, but her parents said, you know, she has so many dolls, we don't want to keep adding, so I held off. Could still give it to her later, because each time I see a photo of her, she's playing with a bunch of dolls. So thought it'd be fun to introduce her to Monster High, but the Laguna Blue, this variation, is the second best doll of the year in my opinion. Really love what they did with the character. The color story here is very pleasing to look at, very fun, sort of like a 90s throwback, where, you know, it doesn't have to be classic and timeless and vintage looking. Like I said, I prefer. It can also look like this because this feels very cohesive. It tells me about the character. It looks highly considered and fun. And when I saw it on the shelves, this was my first Monster High purchase. I did always love Shriek Wrecked Laguna, which I saw when she came out. And then this year I was able to purchase a couple of her, so love that doll. But this was my first Monster High purchase. Really liked it as soon as I saw her on the shelves. Spoke to me, very fun energy. So really the emotions are what has this doll ranking so highly. Love the character, pretty cool articulation, the see-through legs love that. Hopefully the paint doesn't, you know, chip. I did get a few. some are better than others. I'm like, maybe I should spray these with Mr. Super Clear so they don't peel off as easily. Has anyone done that? Let me know. I feel like the best I'm just kind of glossing over, and the worst I'm like taking my time to explain, but that's what I'm thinking. All right. The second worst, I just wrote Barbie fashionistas, and I'm sure you get that. Like Pixelation City, the Party City clothing, like the absolute worst style. In fact, like, what are these references? What are these designs? Are stakeholders saying that? Like, I know the quality is also not, like, I purchased two. Purchased the Totally Hair, I don't know, throwback, and the one with a pink dress with a heart cut out. The quality was non-existent. No. Real letdown. I wouldn't even purchase fashionistas, really. I'd have to really study the outfit because they're just so cheap now, and the accessories, I'd probably have to really love them and just double check, because the quality, again, it's, I don't know, not there. And I don't think this is like an uncommon sentiment. I hear this more and more. Okay, and that would lead us to the best doll of 2024, in my opinion, but I want to give some honorable mentions to the, I would say the Fashion Frontier Barbie, but only if you kept her in the box or she was a statue, because if you watched my video, I opened mine and immediately her hand fell off. There were a lot of unnecessary puncture wounds in the hat. The hair was kind of frizzy. The face was not good. The outfit was good. The package was beautiful. No. I also put the Barbie and Kichi Tainami collector doll. Thought this was a very cool look for Barbie. Didn't like the lack of articulation or the price point, but I know I'm not really considering price point in this mix. But that's the reason I didn't purchase her. Really loved the outfit and the sort of like unique vibe and hairstyle, and the facial screening. This looked high quality, it looked really fun. When Mattel Creations was having their Black Friday sale, I wanted to see if she was possibly on sale, but by that time she was sold out. So, also wanted to list a couple more, because there were some really good things from Barbie this year too. I, for one, enjoyed the Dream Besties. I was eager to see them. The packaging was really fun, gave us a little bit of the characters, their color stories.
You can also check out my unboxing video where I go through each one.
I don't know if they hit the mark, because now I see them at clearance, and I hear they're at like Ross, and TJ Maxx, and those type of stores. But I thought they were pretty well done. They had decent articulation, sort of a unique atmosphere. I didn't like that they couldn't necessarily share clothes with other Barbies, but for me, they kind of hit the mark. Though I did not get Daisy, that outfit is so bad, or Ken, because again, that outfit is Forever 21 clearance. What are we doing? Then I had the pink Premiere Barbie. I noticed I was on a lot of people's favorites. Love the face, love the hair. For the quality, the outfit felt a little cheap, and the fact that it had like plastic T-ties piercing the dress, making holes. I can't list this on a best dolls of 2024 for that reason. no. Could have been a little more high quality. But the doll herself, base doll, great, love that. She was not articulated either though. I mean, in terms of like elbows or just like very basic articulation, shoulders, legs. Then I have the Monster High RuPaul Dragon Queen doll. I purchased this when it was on sale. Really like the doll, very articulated, thought this was a beautifully executed representation of RuPaul. Liked that they are paying homage to somebody who supports a lot of people and is a good inspiration and a role model. Liked the outfit, thought it hit the mark. The packaging was also so well done and thoughtful. Liked the message as well. And that would lead us to our best, but I also I think I want to do our worst and then end on the more positive note. So honorable mentions for worst would be, there's some Barbie, right? Like, it's all Barbie. Barbie X Nunori. Who is that? That is an AI character? What? Why? So many better people we could partner Barbie with than that. Also, terrible outfits. Just extremely tacky. The price was also outrageous, but Barbie fashion model 2, what was this outfit? It looked so dumpy and unflattering silhouette, I love velvet, but unflattering fabric choices. I watched Fairy Tale Dolls review and they said it looked like a scrunchie was tied around her top, and I couldn't have said it better. This is what, fashion model dolls were produced, and they were always really high quality and lovely if you look up some of the ones in the past. And then they came back with a blue doll that I thought was kind of neat. I didn't purchase her, but then this just was like, I don't know who's designing these. I don't know what's happening, but I don't like it. And we also have the Holiday Barbie of 2024. This just looks like trash. The outfit is so bad, it looks like wrapping paper. And from what I've seen, it also feels like paper. They're also not cheap. There's AI used on the box for the packaging. I guess maybe some of the base doll faces could be a salvation if you're picking these up on clearance, but not for me. These could have, again, I'm ranking the worst because these had a lot of opportunity to be something fun and enjoyable and well thought out and considered, and it doesn't seem like none of them were hitting the mark. If we had a dartboard, they're all in the wall. None of them are on the board. Okay. And I'm probably seeming extremely critical, but I love dolls, love toys, want them to be better for all of us. I hope this mic is on. I can't really tell. Okay. Yes, okay. So I covered everything, and now we're gonna look at the best of 2024. I also purchased 3 of this doll and kind of even want a 4th. This is Spectra from G3. Absolutely nailed it, from the color story to the characterization. Looks just like the character from the show. And this is what I meant when I said, like, Disney won't give you a character as they look. Like, Monster High did. This looks just like the character from the show. Beautiful execution, great color story, really well thought out. Love the translucent hands and feet, sort of like gothic vibes. The face mold was so well done with her signature cheekbones and the coloring. fun accessories. The package is also fun, like that we get characterization, really cool artwork, just beautiful. Thought this really hit the mark. Wanted to keep one in a package, thought I also could give one to my niece, and wanted to pick one up for other customizations in case I wanted to make other like ghost characters or specter characters. And I feel like I should elaborate, but really love the character from G3 as well, so there is a little bit of bias. She probably had the best music video as well, but I'm not factoring that into my consideration. Just as soon as this doll hit the shelves, I remember thinking, oh wow, this is really fun. This looks like a really cool, artful execution. I remember being at Target and I got to see other people react as well, and they were, I hope that, again, this mic, like the light goes on, then it goes off. They were ecstatic to see Spectra, and that also made me like really hype to have this doll. And you know, the energy that she was giving was positive, was fun, was creative. Thought there's so many neat things we could do here, even with posability. It would have been better if she had a stand, let's be real, because then you could get like a floating position. But yeah, I hope we see more of Spectra in the G3 line. What else do I want to say? Yeah, extremely beautiful face, profile, the makeup, the unique hair blend where it's 2 tones of purple. There's also, or 3 tones of purple, I think 2, and a blue. The chain motif, like, I like this more. I like the G3 more than even the G1 because they're just not as fragile. I don't feel like I'm going to break them, and they can actually hold and their accessories a little better. Whereas G1, it's like everything's weighted down and so fragile. So altogether, I thought Spectre was the best release of 2024. Was not extremely pricey either, so that is a plus, though I'm not really factoring that in. But just the emotions and the, you know, the sort of like fun vibe when I saw this doll, when I had this doll on the shelf. Again, also one of my favorite characters, so there is that to consider. But want to hear from you in the comments. What did you think of 2024 overall? I thought there were a lot of really cool doll offerings this year. The LOL brand had some really neat looking things. I don't collect that brand, but I would see them on the shelves at Target, and they were always sort of artful and colorful. I know Bratz had some different things, and the Mean Girls dolls, which I thought were well done looking for Bratz. I don't collect Bratz, they don't really speak to me. I know that release was disastrous, and then they posted something they thought was funny on Instagram. I don't like that either. That's off-putting for people who wanted it and didn't get it. It's also not funny. So I don't even think I would pick Bratz up. But thought 2024 was a fun year for most of our releases. Don't know what 2025 will bring. I am already excited for some of the releases I am seeing, or the things we're speculating, like a G3 Cupid, some new Sculptement Secret Locker dolls. I don't know the name. Just want to see more of these characters. I am a W Club member of 2025, so they did just release some at the end. I don't have them yet. They're still technically 2024, even though I'm getting them in 2025. But I do want to see what they keep making for Poppy Parker. I don't know that I'll be continuing to collect as much as I did, just because the price of that is quite exorbitant, and I do have a good amount in my collection. Monster High was probably the best of 2024, and Barbie was the worst, which they're all from Mattel, so it's kind of strange, but that's how I saw it being positioned. And that's also how I felt when I, was every time I'll shop, I will walk through the toy aisle and just check them out. and also look on youloveit.com so I stay aware of all the releases, and that is how I ranked my 2024 doll year. If you liked this video, please subscribe, please give it a like, please comment. I would love to hear from you. And I want to keep making these videos with content you'd like to see in 2025 and beyond. So thank you, and see you next time.